Good afternoon, everybody. I am the Big Man on Campus. I'm back. It's the Big Man on Campus podcast. Today for Tuesday, December 12th, 2017. We're 13 days away from Christmas. Here to give you a couple gifts under your tree for the winter season. Basketball season's back. We continue to try to keep handing out winners here. Like I said, for your Christmas tree. I welcome in everyone who's out there joining us and listening in. I was supposed to have Ian Cameron. I don't know where he is. I guess he's standing me up in a way. I don't know where he is, but I guess we'll have to get through without him here on the show. I hit him up all day, and I don't know what happened to him. So I guess we'll just have to chalk it up that he won't be here today. We move on though to attack a 16 game card. Not a ton of matchups tonight, but it's definitely some interesting ones. I mean, definitely it's finals week, so there's not a ton of games. There's not a ton of games tomorrow either. Um, but 52 and 29 on the season, 64%, up an even 20 units. So look, as my message says, if you bet $100 on each play, wins minus losses, you're up about 2,000. So all that's for free. So again, just remember that. Yeah, welcome Reggie, Brock, Mark, Little E, Lucky, Pat, Mark, all you guys in here. Welcome in. I do appreciate it. Where are we going to go here? Where are we going to start? Let's start with, I'll start with my play of the day, which I sent out a little bit earlier. Definitely like this play a lot. It is, to me, the best play on the board. Maybe there's might be one other one that's like right up there with it, but this one to me, I really like. 10 o'clock at night here. We're going to go out to the only 10 o'clock game of the board, 543, 544. I took Jacksonville State +6 in this game, and there's a lot to like about this Gamecock team. They're very good. And, I know a lot of people will say, well, they're on the road. They're going to go out to Corvallis. It's a tough trip. And you'd be right. But this is a huge game on this team's schedule. It's arguably one of their biggest games of the season out of conference, and a big game against Mississippi State earlier in the year that they did only lose by 3, keep in mind. That was on a buzzer beater over in Starkville. So, this team is pretty legit. And, heading out to the Pac-12 playing, this Pac-12 team, they should definitely be up for this game and be ready to go. I don't think Oregon State should be laying 6 points to really anyone, let alone a team in Jacksonville State who has been very good this year and really a well-coached team under Ray Harper. They're very good defensively. They're actually stifling defensively. I was actually going to use them the other night on my Friday show, but the game got canceled. They actually crushed UL Monroe the next day. They're really good on the defensive end. And you look at what they do. They're not only good defensively, but they're good offensively. 81 points a game, 52%. They're a good rebounding team as well. Do a nice job of hitting the three-point shot. When you look at this Oregon State team, it's definitely a bit of a rebuilding year. I mean, they have got some good players, Eubanks, Trace Tinkle, the Thompson brothers. But, overall, I just haven't really been that impressed with Oregon State. I mean, you look at, they've won 4 in a row, but they've been against Pine Bluff, Eastern Kentucky, Loyola Marymount, and Marist. Those teams combined are 11 and 28 this year. They're just not very good. And, I don't see a 6-point difference between these teams. I could see arguably them going in and winning this game. This game reminds me a lot of, if we remember early in the year, I had a play, it was a Saturday night. I think it was the 18th of November on Long Beach State plus, I think it was 11 points. Look, Long Beach led most of the game, ended up losing the game, but, hung in that game, played some good basketball. I think this is a real similar game. I think they're going to go in there, ready to go in this game. Public's back in Oregon State just because, they see a Pac-12 team at home against Jacksonville State. The truth of the matter is Jacksonville State's a good basketball team. They're 4-1 against the spread, 2-1 this year as a dog. They rebound, like I said. They make threes, 42%. I just think there's too many points here. I'm going to take Jacksonville State in a game that I wouldn't be surprised to see them win, but we'll take the generous 6 points here as the play of the day. A couple questions here. Great capping in the EPL. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, Burnley won, but Yeah, Watford was a tough one. I mean, I had them at like plus 230. They're up 1-0. They get red carded and lose 2-1 in the last 10 minutes. So, I mean, it's kind of a shitty thing with Watford. They've done that a couple times to me this year. And to do it to Crystal Palace, I mean, Crystal Palace is a dreadful side. I mean, just kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? Brock Matava, happy Tuesday to you. What's up, Reggie? Um, Thanks, Mark. Yeah, subs are getting higher and higher. We just keep it moving. Just try to get a good group of guys here that enjoy the content, and sky's the limit. Carlos Escalante, welcome in. Philip Coutinho, welcome in. Ian Cameron's going on a date. No, he's not. Ian Cameron's probably at home. He probably forgot about the show. I could care less that the numbers moved. I actually just mentioned why I think the line moved. Publix bet the Oregon State Beavers here at home. They don't know shit about Jacksonville State, and I'd imagine that's public money. Where else are we going here? Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, same to you, bro. What do I think of Marquette? They're not playing tonight, so I don't really think much of them. They're just kind of an average team for me in the Big East. Let's go through the rest of the card here. Ask me that question when Marquette's playing. I didn't really, I haven't looked at them over the last couple of games, but I like the win against Wisconsin. That was impressive. But that was really more of a play against Wisconsin as opposed to being on Marquette. A game that I'm definitely, I got to tell you, I think this is a pretty good play. I got to tell you, if your bankroll is where it should be, following my picks, this is a play that was close for me. I like 519 Columbia. I think this is a good spot for the Lions here. They're not very good. I mean, they're 1-9, but this is not a play on Columbia. This is more a fade of Boston College University. The whole world is on Boston College, and the line has dropped 2 points. Or I'm sorry, 1.5 points. That's not the way the line should be going. This is a huge false flag. Boston College, you'd imagine, is pretty winded. And look, they won that game. They shut the lights out. It's going to be hard to duplicate that again. This is a team that only shoots 34.8% from the three-point line. Columbia can score. I mean, they're going to hang around in this game. This is a good amount of points. The only concern I have with Columbia is one of my main things when I'm backing a dog with 10 points or more, they make three-pointers, which is good, but they're not a really good free throw shooting team, which I want to check into that and see if that's just, one guy's just really bad and he's bringing the whole rest of the team down. But this has been a hard luck Columbia team. I mean, the last couple games have been tough. I mean, you lose by 5 to Navy. You lose by 10 to a pretty good Stony Brook team. 4 to Albany, who I think is one of the better mid-majors in the country. You lose by 4 to Connecticut. You lose by 2 to Quinnipiac. You hung around with Villanova for the most part. Penn State beat them pretty handily. But overall, I mean, they've played pretty well this year. And this is a bad, bad spot for Boston College. Now, can they come out here and dominate? Sure they can. But from a spot perspective, I think Columbia is where the look tonight. The line should be going up, not down. I mean, they're one of the highest bet teams today, Columbia, or Boston College. I think like 75% of the tickets are on Boston College. The line should not be going down. And you look at some of these kids for Columbia. I mean, not great foul shooters, really, but I mean, that's kind of my knock on this game, and the fact that Columbia is Columbia. But you can't lie until they haven't played in good games. So that's an interesting one for sure. Do you like Rutgers tonight? No, not really. I don't really like Rutgers ever. Again, I mean, they're playing Fordham, which, I mean, the Rams aren't too good, but I think one thing that has to be made aware here is when you're looking at New York basketball, there's not a great New York basketball team really anymore. And if you include Rutgers in that grouping, Rutgers, St. John's, you got Fordham in there, and then you go up kind of upstate and you got your Ionas, your Albanese, and way up Syracuse. But, is Rutgers really a team that should be laying 11 points? I'm not really sure. but Fordham is poor. I mean, they're really poor in the half court. They can't score. They could have real trouble scoring in this game. I don't know. Under looks pretty good, but the under's super low. But I'm not running to lay 11 points with Rutgers here, frankly. I'm trying to get to all the questions here. Yeah, 67% is not that good. Everyone hit the like button. Thanks, man. Yeah, amen. All the people in here. What are the games of the public's back? I'm not sure. That's the only one I know of. And on Donnie writes, I confirm that. Thoughts on the Ivy League? I think it sucks. I've never liked the Ivy League. Amazing that Memphis has dropped off so significantly. I understand Albany's a good squad, but a pick at home. I mean, they've been a pick at home all year. I mean, they were a pick at home against Northern Kentucky. They were a pick against Mercer. They're not good. I mean, they don't have much talent on that team. Tubby Smith is, tried to rescue that program, but, they got rid of the Lawson brothers, and, they've really just kind of had trouble since then. Josh Pastner left. Listen, at home against Albany, I think Albany does a lot of real good things. But like I've said on my shows today, I'd much rather have Albany getting 3 or 4 here. As far as a pick 'em, I do think Albany will be really around in this game. But I think the athleticism is still there for Memphis. But it's a tough game to bet. It's not one that will have my money on it tonight. Does anyone like Wyoming tonight? I think a lot of people like Wyoming, but Wyoming's dropped off a little bit lately, but they're back at home. If you're going to back Wyoming, it's something you do at home. Do you like Texas? No, I don't. I don't like either side in that game. If I lean that way, it's funny. It's amazing how 12 hours can change your opinion, or not even 12, 8 hours. On a morning show today, I liked the over in this game at the price it was. 129, I looked at it and I said to myself, that's really low for a game like this. Both these teams, pretty efficient offensively, but then you look at the number now, I mean, it is ballooned up to like 132.5. You're starting to get to the point where the under looks really good in this game. You look at what Texas is going to do offensively. They're already without Andrew Jones. They're not good in the half court as it is, and Michigan's going to run a zone. So they're going to have to hit shots over the zone. I don't think they can. I think Wagner's going to have a lot of trouble against Mohamed Bamba. He seems to struggle against other good bigs. I mean, gun to my head, I'd take Michigan just because I think this is a close basketball game. But as this number continues to rise, it's hard to not take the under in this game. I to me, think it's like a 64-61 type of game. You basically need – 70-64, which, I don't know that I really see. I think this is more in the low 60s. It'll be right around the number, but the public is pounding the over. I think for the reasons I discussed, they're looking at Michigan and saying, well, they're good offensively when, they haven't really shot the ball particularly well this year from the outside. Those haven't fell for them. And Texas is going to have some trouble in the half court, I think. So, no, gun to my head, I'd probably lean Michigan. Do you like Mississippi State plus 12.5? Not really. I don't really like either side there. There are question marks for both teams. I'm actually decently high on Mississippi State. I like Witherspoon, Quandre Witherspoon a lot. Him and his brother are real good players. But I've made it clear I'm really high on Cincinnati. I like them. The concern you have with Cincinnati all year is they're not playing in their home stadium, which is always kind of wonky. I don't ever like dealing with teams that aren't in their true home stadium. Cincinnati's playing over in North Highlands at Northern Kentucky's arena. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of these are gun to my head picks. Gun to my head, I would probably, I'd probably take Cincinnati, frankly. Just because they're a great rebounding team. They're fairly good defensively. But Mississippi State, they'll sneak up on you. Beat Dayton this year. That's a solid win there. Beating some decent mid-majors. Beat Jacksonville State, like I said. But the schedule for them hasn't been particularly good. This could be their first real test on the road, and they get smacked. So for me, it's I'm not in love with it. La Tech, Louisiana Lafayette, another tough one. That's another real toss-up because for me, I I like Lafayette. I'm a big Frank Bartley fan. I like Bryce Washington a lot. They're all healthy all of a sudden, Louisiana, Lafayette. But also, I wonder. I mean, you know, athletically, I think La Tech's a better team. And I'm not a big fan of Lafayette on defense. They seem to be bad in defense in both sports, in football and basketball. They're pretty poor overall. Um, should see some points here, but it is a high total. I mean, you need 80 points apiece here to go over. I don't have a huge feel. There's another tough game. I mean, realistically, it's that La Tech kind of matchup or La University or the Louisiana University's matchup here. Fully healthy, I'll lean Lafayette, honestly. They're the better rebounding club. They make their free throws for the most part. Pretty good 3-point defense. I'll lean with the dog there in that one. In a game that should be a pretty fun one. Let's try to go through some questions here, which we've done. Murray State. I'll get to that one here towards the end because that's a really interesting one. Big man, what's the difference between the show and the bet buffet? Nothing. I mean, but the bet buffet is one day a week. I'm trying to be on here as much as I can. Um, that's a nice question, dating, but I have to send you away. South Dakota, I have no interest, no opinion in that one. Are you talking South Dakota State? Yeah, South Dakota doesn't play tonight there, cause South Dakota State, you mean? Yeah. This is a game that I think we'll see some points in. All year, teams are going to struggle to guard Mike Daum, and North Dakota is going to be one of them. They have a very limited front court. Daum should have a pretty big game in this one, and South Dakota State shouldn't have any trouble scoring at home here. I also don't think North Dakota will have much problem scoring. Quentin Hooker, Marlon Hunter. I mean, they'll be able to score Marlon, forget his last name, but Quentin Hooker, those two will be able to score the basketball. And Daum is a matchup nightmare for each team. I'm not buying into, South Dakota State's defensive tactics at home. They've done well at home, but this is a tough team to game plan for. Both these teams go pretty quick. Both these teams get to the rim. South Dakota State should get the job done here, but I'm looking for points in this game. I could see a closer game, but I see a game played into the 80s. Big man, can't wait for the Nova Temple game. Want to see how Rose performs. Rose has performed on a big stage all year. Not sure what you mean by big stage. I mean, he's been killing it all year. Do you ever see value in betting first halves? Not really. I don't really bet halves or totals. San Diego plus 8.5. Yeah. You look at Lamont Smith. He's done a good job at San Diego. Olin Carter, real good player. They're not a team that's just gonna go away anymore. But Colorado's a different animal. I mean, Colorado's good. I mean, they have good players. They're well coached. George King's a good talent. I don't have a ton on that game. This is in Colorado. This isn't in the Jenny Craig Pavilion or whatever. You got to go on the road and into a tough atmosphere. Against a Pac-12 team. Number could be a little light here. I get a feeling they win by double digits. But look, San Diego has played well. You got to give, like I said, Lamont Smith some credit. But this team has struggled to score. Colorado's been a great defensive club, and they can score, and that's going to be a difference in this game. San Diego also struggles at the line, 64%. They don't make any threes. They're just not really attractive. And I mean, you look at both these teams. One thing that could be interesting here, and it's going to be interesting, is both these teams will get to the foul line. You look at San Diego; they foul 23 times a game, which is among the highest in the country. Colorado at 21. So you would imagine there'd be a lot of foul shots in this game, and this is where I think Colorado will pull away and win by double digits. Where are we going here? Bartley's not doubtful. I don't believe he is. From what I understand, they're all healthy. What are the picks? There's only one pick. Jacksonville State. I'm giving out a pick a day. That's it. I've told many people that. I'm giving out one pick a day going forward. It's worked for me. I'm going to stick with it. Already talked about it, Alhard. Listen, I'm going to make this a point. I am not repeating myself anymore on this show. If you don't hear my game, I've talked about it already. The only game I haven't talked about is Murray State, which I'm going to get into. You can. I'm not trying to be rude, but you can go back and listen. I got to try to get through as much as possible here, and I can't keep going back and talking about games over again. Getting here, what's up? Shoveling snow. Damn, that sucks, man. Hopefully you get warm and get out of the snow. Yeah, I don't know about that, CC. North Dakota is not very good on the defensive end. I thought they were worth a bet the other night at home, and they let me down hardcore. They're not good on defensively a lot at all, and Mike Dahlm will have a big day. But I hear you. I mean, it could be a lot of points. I'm looking over, frankly. No problem. Let's get into Murray State here. This is an interesting game. Murray State heading on the road to take on St. Louis. And as I mentioned on the bet buffet, I'm going to mention it here. If you are considering Murray State at this number, I'm not trying to offend you, but you really need to look at how you're betting on sports, because it is not a good idea to continue to bet games at the worst numbers possible. I urge all of you, if you've learned anything from me in this basketball stuff, go every night and look at the lines before you go to bed and make your decisions early. Make one or two plays before you go to bed, because a lot of the time in cases like these where you have near pick'em games, the line's not going to go down. It's going to go up. And if it does go down, there's something wrong with it and you want to stay away. Murray State is the better team. Everything they do is better than St. Louis. The only problem is St. Louis has had a little bit of a tough luck lately. They did beat Virginia Tech. They are at home. Look, Murray State should win here, and they should win by 6 to 10 points. The problem you have here is you're not getting the best line. And late in the game, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a 3-point game and you're worried because you laid 3.5, and you really got to fight here. Would it surprise me if Murray State goes in and this is 79-64 with 3 minutes to go? No. But you can't continue to bet games at the numbers like this. You know? He does like this shirt. It's not lucky. I wear the shirt a week, and today's the day I wear this shirt. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I don't have a job where I have to go out and like get dressed up. So I just throw on whatever I feel like wearing. So yeah, I mean, as far as this game, look, do I like Murray State at the original number? Yes. Do I like them at 3.5? I'm not saying I don't, but I just don't really want to bet that way. You know? Yeah, there's always one or two of these games, especially on a card like this, 16 games. You know, this one's definitely going to be keyed in on. And you wake up the next day and it's 3.5. Grab Murray State at 3 a.m. Home court advantage got me thinking. I wouldn't worry about it. 1.5's a good number. Well, it's true. I'm not going to offend anyone. If you're offended by what I said, you should take it as criticism and realize what I'm saying. It's not a smart idea. If you like a favorite and it opened 1.5 and it's at 3.5 when you're betting it, you know, it's you might want to reconsider things or bet earlier. What do you think about Sixers Minnesota? A lot of injuries tonight for the Sixers. I got to look and see who's playing and who's not. And no, I don't. I'm going to go watch on TV, the local station here. I trust them a little bit more than I trust Twitter. You get burned a lot by Twitter. I mean, most of the time, we know as much as they know. You know, and I'll see. I don't have anything just yet on this game. I want to see where the line goes, because I don't know if any of you guys know, but I don't cap basketball on like who I think is going to win in the NBA. The NBA to me is all about the number. You know, if the number's not there, I don't play it. I mentioned today I'm on the Lakers. I took them 3.5. That was my play of the day. I don't think the Knicks should be laying 3.5 points. I think the Lakers are a pretty solid team. I think it'll be close. I'm going to take the points in a game like this. But, I mean, the line makes sense. I mean, the public likes the Sixers. Lines went down. It's went down the right way. But I want to see when Joel Embiid is marked that he's playing, That's when we'll see what's going on with this line. Because I think people just bet the Sixers in hopes that they wanted to get the 5.5 points. But the Sixers suck defensively. And Covington not playing tonight's big. He's their best defender. They don't have much depth without McConnell. If he plays, that's big. But the big thing is Embiid. And I got to be real. I don't think he's going to play. I think for certain reason, I don't think Joel Embiid's going to play for a long time. I got a weird feeling. Just how it goes. But that's where I'm waiting, whether Embiid plays or not. That's for me the big question. And that I don't know, or we don't know yet. So, again, when I know, I'll make a decision. But I have nothing on Embiid. I've seen local writers say that he will play. I would be watching right now, but I'm doing this show, so I can't really. Matter of fact, how about we do this? How about we tune in right now to the live feed here on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and we can see what they're saying. How about we do that? Yeah, Bartley's probable, as I said, Mr. Coxter. No, a lot of injuries in Iona Yale. I wouldn't be anywhere near that game. A lot of injuries.
Tony Romo got 14%. I can't believe he got anything.
What a surprise, talking Eagles. That's one thing about the city that is irritating. They when the Eagles are in season, they don't talk about anything else. Like you have Villanova, Temple tomorrow, you haven't heard one word about it. Sixers tonight, not one word about it. Yeah, Emza, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, I don't look at games this early, except in the real early of the season. 3 o'clock a.m., get at me. We can talk about games. But I don't have anything just right now. I do want to see what the Temple line is, though, before we jump off for today. And feel free to send in any questions you have. I don't care what the question is. You want to ask me what the capital of Uzbekistan is, be my guest. I want to see one thing here before I go. I'll stay on for about 5:40. We'll jump off here. Want to see if we can get some info here on our friend Joel Embiid. Temple +7 tomorrow. Wow, a little low. Thought it'd be higher. Interesting. That's real interesting, isn't it? Fucking hell. That's going to be a big public game. Villanova. Public's going to bury Villanova. For a record, I'm not betting on that game, by the way. Strictly a fan tomorrow night. I'm strictly a fan tomorrow night. So don't ask. Well, actually, I'll break the game down, but I will not have a pick on it. I just can't. Are you serious? Capital of Thailand? It's Bangkok. That's an easy one. That's a real easy one. Boom. Yeah, Jacksonville State. That's my only college play, dude. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, look, they're better than they're better than St. Louis at every possession or at every position and at everything. But again, I mean, sometimes that doesn't matter. How's the weight loss regimen? It's going well. I mean, I'm trying. I've lost like 15 pounds. I will. I'll be there with Donnie Rightside. Donnie Rightside and I are going together. I don't have an opinion on that, Ninja. I'm not really into totals. Thoughts on what's going on in Alabama today? Look, I mean, I hope I listen. It looks like Roy Moore's going to win, unfortunately, and it's a real shame, that some pedophile, psychopath, nut job, sick fuck's going to win. But down in Alabama, they seem that that's okay. They're okay with that. It's okay that even though it was 30 years ago, he should be forgiven for it. It's not how I live my life. We live totally different here. And in my world, he's a fucking pedophile and he should be in prison. But I luckily don't vote in Alabama, so I don't have to worry about it. But I do feel bad for the people of that state, which, as we know, is a great state. It's my choice. I think we already know who I'd vote for. I don't know why it's even a question mark. How do you even need to be told you should vote for Doug Jones? It's just, I mean, really? I have to make you think you shouldn't, you shouldn't, not vote. Why should I have to tell you that you shouldn't vote for a pedophile? What do I know? Capital of Nigeria is Abuja. Many think it's Lagos, but it's Abuja. No problem, Guan. Thanks for listening. Uh, Big man, where did you get the inside info with the Villanova finals? Well, I'm from Philadelphia, so I just looked it up. That's you can look at that up, that kind of stuff. You don't forgive someone for that shit. Feed them to yeah, amen, amen. Because I'll tell you what, and this is right. Good point, Native Queen. That you're exactly right. That goes to show you the simple mindedness of. Listen, if you're voting for Roy Moore, what I want you to do is, and I'm being serious, unsubscribe from me and go watch another channel because I don't want to deal with you on this channel. I don't want to know you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's the truth. I shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to tell anyone. And the fact that our fucking president has the gall. Listen, he's who he is. I'm not going to knock the president for other things, but the fact that he's actually defending this is pretty pathetic, really. And I'm not going to back that up. I go through my own way in life. What happens is what happens. It's just a shame that we have to actually watch this unfold every day. But it doesn't surprise me. That's just the country we're in. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Doug Jones pulls off a little miracle here, huh? Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's pathetic, bro. But we'll root for Doug Jones. Hopefully, he can be the underdog story. We'll pull for him. Did I miss any games here tonight? I think we're good to go here, boys. Green Bay, Indiana State, not much on opinion there. St. Peter's, Seton Hall. Seton Hall shouldn't have any trouble with the Peacocks. They have lost a lot of talent from last year's team. Georgia Southern, George Mason. I like Tukey Brown a lot. I think Georgia Southern's a pretty underrated team over there, but it's a road game. It's a small number. George Mason's got some decent players. So yeah, I'm going to look with what we have here and stick with the Jacksonville State game. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, I'm not coming to Canada. When I move from this country, I'm going to Albania or England, one of those countries, I'll either stay like big city and go to like the north, northern England, maybe Liverpool or Newcastle, one of those. I want to live, kind of near big city, but not in one. But it's hard to ever leave Philadelphia just because it is my home, and I love the shore and my world is my world. The outside world I don't really bother with much. Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan's Baku, Kazakhstan. It's on the tip of my tongue. There's so many stands: Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan. Astana, I think, right? FC Astana. Baku's Azerbaijan. Kazakhstan is Astana. Afghanistan's Kabul. Yeah, I think it's Astana. Look that one up. Yeah, it's Astana. Kyrgyzstan is Bishkek, I believe. So college basketball like no other, and random shit like Capitals in Nigeria. Yeah, I correct. Fucking Crystal Palace. Yep. The fucking Palace. Thanks, D-Bear. Appreciate it. I don't know. I just Google it, look it up. I mean, it's just common memory. When I was in like 5th and 6th grade, I was like really good at geography, and I knew all the capitals of the states. And then I knew, and I'm really into like cultures and like languages and where things are, and just taking like things that I enjoy and like reading, really, like reading things, reading different books and stuff like that. You just kind of remember it. But I mean, it's useless knowledge. It just really like just impresses people. Are you into trading stocks or no, I don't even know what Forex is. My dad does that. My dad does it on a pretty high scale. I don't do it though. Um, yeah, I mean, betting on sports too is a good thing. I mean, like if you bet a lot of soccer, which I do, and I know Dale does, um, you know, you get to know a lot of these teams. Like you, and plus, like being Albanian, like all the little countries around the Balkans and the Baltic areas and stuff. I mean, I've seen and I've heard of and I know. So, um, stop watching CNN. Make me come over to my TV and turn it off. I ask try to come over to my TV and turn off CNN. I've asked you about this before. I mean, you continue to come in here and do it, and then when I do call you out for it, you block me and whine to me that you know I shouldn't I shouldn't be the way I am. I've asked you before about this, and you keep doing it. I don't go on your page and say stop watching Fox News. Watch your own shit, and I'll watch my own shit. Just like you might like blondes and I don't. I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not telling you anything. I was asked a question about what's going on in Alabama, and I responded. Never have I come on here and said, fuck this, fuck that. I've never done that. This is my show. It's my page. Everything that I do, it's mine. When I'm on SPR, I don't talk about politics because I'm not told to talk about that. Just like when you have your own show, you could talk about what you want. But don't come on my page and talk about stuff. I'm not whining. I'm just he's putting stuff into my mouth. And YYC golfer, I see you on the chat stuff. See you later. Blocked you, and I'm going to block you again. If that's whining, then don't watch. All I ask is don't come on here and talk about that stuff on my page. That's it. Oh man, where are we at here? Action Bronson and Big Man are the same person. Fun fact. Well, I'm a big Action Bronson fan, Action Rooster. So that's a big time. I appreciate that. We're both Albanian too. Shout out to AB. What's up, Big Man? Burnley and Mastermind Sean Deitch are in. Yeah, how about that, OG Johnson? Sean Deitch is a hell of a coach. That goal was beautiful. I was loving it because that game was ugly to watch. What sort of minutes restriction would you imagine Kawhi would be on? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, 25 minutes probably. Big Man, did you check out that meal prep company I sent you? No, I have to. I will. I've looked at actually other ones before, though. So I've seen those before. A lot of them don't deliver to me, though, unfortunately. Um, exactly, Nick T. Amen. We all get our info certain ways. Shot picks, I really don't want to block you, but like I'm feeling like I have to. It's like you're the guy that whines because people block you, but you keep pushing people. I've asked you before about coming on here and talking about politics. I've asked you, and you said I won't do it again. Yet every day, every week, you come on here and you talk about politics. And I hear you call me a snowflake, whatever the fuck that is. Get the fuck out of here. Albania is beautiful. Had a friend wedding there. It's paradise. Yes. Thank you, D-Bear. Good point. All right. Good luck, Bayou. Enjoy the dinner. Have a good night. Do you have a favorite college basketball analyst? Um, yeah. I mean, I like Jay Billis. I think he's pretty knowledgeable. Bill Raftery is pretty entertaining. Um, yeah, I would say Billis. I think he's pretty good for ESPN. ESPN, Fran Fraschilla is probably my favorite, probably. I think Fraschilla does a real nice job. I mean, he's really knowledgeable, knows a ton about the European scene. I would probably say Fraschilla. Forex is currency exchange. It's a way to make money. Cool. Good for you, man. Keep it going. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. You and Bronson are very cultured. Yes, we try to be cultured. We're very accepting people, Albanians, generally. I'm okay with anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like men, you like women, you like both. You like your blue, black, green, blue, orange, pink. I don't care what you are. If you're a nice person, I'm going to be a nice person to you. That's for us in our culture. That's what we are all about. We are accepting people. If you need me, I'm going to be here for you. If I give something to you, I'm not going to ask you what you're going to do with it. I'm just going to give you it. If someone comes up to me and says, hey, I need $5, I'm going to give it to them. What they do with it is their own business. They need it more than I need it. So I'm going to give it to them. Albanian chicks are fire. There's a lot of them in Sweden. Yeah, good. You know what I'm talking about. I'm a conservative and you're a liberal. That doesn't matter to me. I enjoy your take and our love that is simple. We both agree. Good point. Great point. But again, I mean, all he asked was about Alabama. I mean, I don't care if you're conservative or a Republican or a liberal. A pedophile is a pedophile. This is how it is. I shouldn't have to tell you that you shouldn't vote for that guy because of that. That's just a normal thing. You know? I mean, I have to actually tell you that? It doesn't matter what you believe or don't believe in. I don't care if you believe in God or you do. A pedophile is a pedophile. Is Big Body Bez Albanian? Yes. Bez is short for Beskum. Beskum is a very normal Albanian name. Yes, he's definitely Albanian. He's Bronson's cousin, actually. What is one country you want to visit and haven't? Egypt. That's a place I want to go. Egypt, obviously England, Scotland, that area. I'd love to go to Africa and see like the deserts, and the all that kind of thing. I also really want to go to some different places in the U.S. And I actually had a listener reach out to me. So I know we have some listeners in Kentucky, which I'm happy to say. And I'm actually going to go out to Kentucky here in a couple of weeks. I'm setting up a drive down there to go to a Kentucky game. Some of the listeners, I want to get down there, and I want to see more of the United States. Obviously with the job that I do now, it's a little bit easier to do those things. I want to get out to like North Dakota and South Dakota. That's a place that I would love to see. I want to go out to like, see the vast plains of the United States. Is John Wall playing tonight? I'm not sure just yet. I'm waiting on a lot of different injuries here. Supposedly he's expected to return, but now I'm seeing that according to some tweets that I'm seeing here, one of them from a guy that works for NBC Sports Washington, he won't play tonight, and he'll be back tomorrow against the Grizzlies. So I don't believe he will be playing tonight there, Anthony Greer. Yeah, there you go. So that's going to be it, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with the roundtable. Yes, I will be Lexington. Yes, I would love to see you guys. That's great. Sure, I'll see all you guys. I'm just going to decide on a game. I got to decide on what game yet. No, I'm not on Columbia, Adam Booth. You're not listening. I'm on one game and one game only. Jacksonville State +6. Everything else, I'm just being nice and reviewing them for you. I'm doing a one-play-a-day system from here on out, and I'm on Jacksonville State +6. So, yeah, I'll figure out a game on what game I want to come to, and hopefully we can see all you guys down in Kentucky, which would be exciting. One of the better basketball states in the country. So maybe I'll even meet up with Quan White. I know he lives in Tennessee. Maybe I'll make a two-game trip out of it. I'll go see Kentucky, and then I'll go see one of the Tennessee teams play. All right, Adam, no problem. And as far as tomorrow, I will not be on the air. I'll be at Temple University watching Temple, Villanova. What we will do, I'll probably do a Facebook Live, or not a Facebook Live, a Twitter Live. We'll get Donnie Rightside and I. We'll get a nice place, maybe with not a lot of noise, and maybe do a live little hit for a moment. I got good seats too, as many of you know. But tomorrow, I'm actually sitting in different seats. I'm sitting behind the Villanova bench, right up the Villanova bench. So if you watch TV, you might see Donnie and I. I'm like, I don't know, 8 rows up from the Villanova bench. So you'll probably see me because the TV faces where I'm going to be sitting. So definitely look out for that. It's a sellout. Yes, it is. Though I had tickets for sale, David H. You might have missed out on that. I had some tickets. But yes, everyone have a great night. Thank you, Guan White. We'll have to talk about that. Everyone enjoy your night. I'll be back on the roundtable tomorrow with Drew, Donnie, and Ian Cameron. And go Jacksonville State. Everyone have a great night. See ya.